to take another look at the 2024 recruiting class, and today we're going to take a look at 4-star cornerback prospect who signed with the Alabama Crimson Tide, Zabien Brown. We're going to take a look at his highlights. We're going to take a look at the scouting report. Before we do all that, you need to click that subscribe button because we're covering the 2024 recruiting class all offseason long, so you get a good idea of what these players look like as they sign with your team, go through camp, and start making plays during their freshman, sophomore, junior seasons. You know a little bit about them when they start making their appearance on the field. Click that button. Stop missing out. But we're going to take a look at Zabien Brown right now. And going over to his recruiting profile here, he's a 4-star recruit in both the composite and the initial rankings. Enrolled on 110, and he's 6 foot, 182 pounds. What I like to look at is the offers. That's my favorite thing to look at here. When looking at these prospects, lets you know what the market is telling us. And the market is telling us a lot here. 19 offers, 3 visits. But look at these schools. Alabama, Ohio State, USC. Ohio State likes to put out DBs. They were interested in Zabien Brown. Alabama is Alabama. When you see that A at the top anywhere around here, that's always a good sign. USC, Auburn, Boston College, and many other more schools. A lot of top-tier Power 5 programs, All-American Bowl, so he played some all-star games. And let's look at the scouting report real quick. Brown had a strong senior year and showed why he's rated among the top 5 cornerback prospects in the country. He battled some injuries during the season, but played his best ball of his career during the Monarchs playoff run down the stretch. He's a true shutdown corner who relishes the challenge of taking on another team's top receiver. His cover instincts and ability to play tight man coverage without needing to clutch and grab like so many other young corners sets him apart. So you're going to see good movement skills. You're going to see this guy have a natural ability and feel of what's going on around him while paying attention to that wide receiver, watching the hands of the wide receiver, watching the movements, staying close, quick feet. As they show here, shows quick feet, can change the direction. You're going to see good footwork. He's going to be physical, willing tackler. Going to be some fun highlights here. Can't wait. As a junior, ran 100 meters at 11:12, 11:13, 11:12. We're not in the 10s. But the tape's tape. That's what we're going to be looking at when it comes to speed, athleticism, and burst. But quickness is huge at the position. Visited Ohio State, but looks like locked in with Bama since June 24th. Commit on July 9th. Signed on National Signing Day. We enrolled on January 10th. 32 tackles in 2022. 3 interceptions. 5 pass breakups. Probably not thrown in his way if he's this solid, which he should be considering Ohio State, Bama, USC, 19 offers, 4-star recruit. Looking at on 3 here and looking at the star ratings, legit 4-star prospect, 4 stars all the way down the board with all the recruiting sites. And he's anywhere between cornerback number 3 to cornerback number 18 in rankings. So we got some disparity here. And I imagine when we look at the cornerbacks in this group, that a lot of them are very good, and it's making it hard to rank. And then when you tear them off, they're all going to be close together, and you're going to have some disparity in the rankings. On3 has them at 18, industry average has them at 7, ESPN has them at 14, Rivals has them at 4, 24/7 Sports has them at 3. But let's just take a look at the highlights. Let's take a look at that. The market was hot for him. Top-tier schools were looking at him. Remember, he was injured, like they said, during his senior season. We got 8 minutes and 41 seconds of clips. Let's take a look at what he's doing on the field. So we're in motion right now. Following our guy. Getting the pick. He's getting the pick. Look at that. We got some speed there. He's gone. He's gone. We're on the outside. Up front. Turns his hips. Solid. Quick feet. Quick feet. Look at him make those moves. He's assertive. He's very assertive and quick. You can definitely see it. Stepping back. Good read. Comes up. Closes the distance. Very quick there. No wasted movement on the back pedal when being sold on the route. Tight coverage. Tight, sticking with the wide receiver. This is at Matter Day, too, so it's not like he's facing all jabronis. Some jabronis, but still. Inside shade. Rolling with it. Now we're going back to it. Good closing. Anticipation. Okay. Good instincts, too. Looking inside, looking inside. I see what he was doing there. He drifted inside a little bit to make him think he had a step so he get the target to break it up. Watching wide receiver, closing it in. Closing it in. Jumping it. Good anticipation. I already got a good breakdown on him. I just want to see a little bit more to confirm everything I'm seeing here. Good tackler. Or just aggressive. Just getting in there. Keeps his eyes downfield. He's a confident player, too. He's confident in his coverage skills. And the reason why I noticed that, because he'll keep his eyes in that backfield for run coverage. And he knows that he has the ability to have that feel of what that wide receiver's doing back there. Good play there. Good play. Good read. Good read. Saw that quick. Saw that quick. Got up there. Inside shade a little bit. We're coming up. Trying to get that wide receiver some opportunities because he's probably going to be locked down downfield. Inside shade a bit. Comes up. Sees it. You're seeing a lot of these attempts at him. And that's another indication they're not going deep ball city on him. Look how tight we are. We're assertive. We're aggressive. You got to hold your ground. You're seeing a lot of those screens his way, and there's a reason for that. They're trying to get their playmaker some opportunities. You can't trust it downfield. Again, more short stuff around his side. You're trying to play it safe around him. Sometimes it's not what you see, but what you think's going on. You got to really think of what the other team's scheming on some of these. Good interception, though. Step back, outside shade comes up, reads it. Reads it. I bet he has to read a lot of drag routes and slants. I bet high school quarterbacks salivate when they see that, and he's letting them feel like they got that step. Considering everything downfield is a fight. Tight coverage. And again, another shorty. Letting him have it. Because he knows he can get up there, and it's like a gain of one, if that, on a lot of those. Good play. Good play. Inside shade, back, about 10 yards. Stepping back, looking inside. Looking flip the hips. Like I said earlier, he'll keep his eyes back there for a little longer because he knows he's good back there. Flip some hips quick. Hip flipper. We'll call him hip flipper. Call him flipper. Gets in there. Wide receiver tries to sell the inside. Does not bite. Did not bite on the sell from the wide receiver either. You're going to have to do better at selling your routes against a guy like this. Look at him. Holds it. Holds contain. Look at them trying to scheme plays up on his side. Like, we got to get this edge somehow. And he's not letting it happen. Inside shade a little bit. Can't tell where he's looking at. He's staying with the dude. We got man-on-man coverage. Quarterback's like, nah, we got bail. I don't know what happened back there. Look, I was watching him. He does not care if you sell routes in front of him. He doesn't care. That's a good thing, too, because at the high school level, not many wide receivers take the time to sell routes because we cover a lot of top-end wide receivers, and the lower-end wide receivers are not doing. There we go. The sell didn't get to him. If not, he just knew what was happening from the sell. Like, he was able to read it real quick. The sell did not impact what he was doing in any way, shape, or form. We saw that on many different routes. We saw that many different routes. And at the high school level, like comparing him to other cornerbacks, I know a lot of other cornerbacks are not seeing this many sell tactics in their highlights because I'm not seeing many wide receivers really oversell their sell tactics in their highlights because they're top end wide receivers. Because we're covering that on the channel, and when one does it, I go nuts over it. So that's part of his game. I did not see the scouting report. Maybe it was like maybe one of the last sentences talk about that. Like, he ain't getting baited. He ain't getting baited. Another thing too is you read the scouting reports and you try to argue with it, play devil's advocate, because you're going to be wrong and they're going to be wrong, and you might as well find what's right, find what's wrong, and just do the best you can. At least love the game, I guess. I just love doing this, but he's tight coverage. And I don't say many negatives, but it's because we're watching highlights. And then two, I try not to say negative stuff out my mouth. It's a bad thing to do to say negative stuff all the time. It's bad for your psyche. Here we go. Tight coverage there. Boom, boom, boom. Sees it. There we go. Good play there. Boom, boom. Flips the hips. He's running out with him, too. A lot of guys we got burned up on that. Stays with him. Holds contain. I get why he's not a 5-star, because he's not running in the low 10s. And they're not pick after pick, just exploding by guys. I get why. Ooh, look at the numbers on that field. But I get why. But you have to look at the full package here. And this is a guy that runs with you tight. He'll let you beat him for a second, and he'll get back to you. He has the confidence to keep his eyes in the backfield longer than a lot of other DBs, because he knows whatever that wide receiver is doing back there, I'll get back to you later. He's not getting beat on sell tactics, and high school cornerbacks don't see that many sell tactics. Because I know this, because we're covering a lot of top-end wide receivers. Last year we covered 50 of them or more, and this year we've already covered like 20 of them in this class. I don't know how many. I'm just guessing relatively. There's some other things you got to note here. And I think we need to keep looking at these cornerbacks. I think we're going to have a lot of quarterbacks in this class that are really good, and this is another one. This dude has good balance. Flips them hips quick, good feet, efficient feet, very confident in his abilities, very confident. I can definitely tell you that because he can keep his eyes in the backfield, does not care what's going on behind him because he knows he can flip back and get to it. Another thing is offenses tried their best to get plays on his side by running a lot of screens, running a lot of shorter routes, trying to see if they can get something to break on that end, and it didn't happen. He would keep contained. He's a smart player. He's very explosive. He's got a lot of burst, a lot of pop off that step. That's why he can get back to the play. He reads everything. Everything's here. Everything's here and here. And it's just intuition. It's just natural. You can't really coach that up. He's just natural at the position. That's why he can play so tight. And when he's playing loose, he's still tight, because he can get back to the play. He has a feeling of what's going on behind him, and then he also has an understanding of where to be to prevent what's happening in front of him, whether it's keeping contained or just getting up real quick for the tackle, while the back behind him, the wide receiver back there, is in jeopardy of breaking loose, but he's so confident in his ability that if the quarterback deked that play, threw it back there, that he's going to flip them hips and get back there. That's what I'm seeing there. I'm seeing a very aggressive player. We didn't see him make a lot of tackles in this highlight film because his coverage skills is so good. That's the highlights. And his tackles were all in front of him because they were trying to beat him on screen plays and short routes when he was playing back a bit, because that's the only way they can beat him. Think about that from a context standpoint, because he's so good downfield with tight coverage that you have to scheme things up against him. And that's an indicator that there are other plays in those games that he was shutting down. and they had to scheme up plays to really move the ball on that side. That's what we're seeing in this highlight film. Let me know what you saw. Let me know what you think. I want to hear about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.